This game is Spare Parts, and today we're going to be fighting the first boss, the Spider Monkey, which I actually do believe is the worst designed boss in any 3D platformer. You're welcome to challenge me on this, I just don't think you'll succeed, because from a standpoint of basic causality, game design, and conveyance, this boss fight is a complete fucking disaster. In full disclosure, this game does have some goggles that you can aim at things to see whether you can interact with them using your gadgets. But even given that mechanic, I still think this is the worst boss fight in any 3D platformer. From a game design standpoint, a conveyance standpoint, and basic causality. Alright, let's start the level proper. Okay, so playing this level, we know a few things. We know we have some boots that can allow us to climb metal surfaces. We know that dying doesn't do anything, there's no penalty for it. And we know we have a ground slam, some power gloves, and the goggles that let us see interactable objects. If we were to use the goggles on this hand, the goggles would not tell us this hand is interactable. This hand right here the camera's focusing on, the goggles would not mark it as interactable. We also can't leave that doorway. We can see the spider's hand is blocking a rail that we would be able to walk on if it wasn't there. So we'll put on our power gloves, which have a power punch enabled, and maybe try and punch the hand out of the way to irritate the spider monkey. It doesn't appear to be working, but we can still bait the spider monkey to remove his hand and attack us. And you're thinking maybe, when the spider monkey does that, would be our opportunity to climb up the railing. That would make sense, right? But you actually can't climb fast enough. It's impossible to get up there in time. That's a no-go. So we can't move the hand out of the way to climb that railing, even though it seems like we should be able to. Which is frustrating. It's also frustrating that we're getting killed instantly so many times. Now let's jump on this hand. Oh, a tutorial prompt tells us that we can do a ground slam attack on it. And a tiny cutscene will demonstrate a stone block being pushed out of this altar. If you didn't notice it, I wouldn't blame you. You might instead think that it was telling you to focus on the other hands attached to the altar and ground pound those, but that's not what it wants. It wants you to move to this block and push it in. Please note that the hand we ground pounded is not even actually attached to this altar. Unlike the other hands, the one we ground pounded is not physically attached. When we push the block in, the spider webs come off of the spider's egg. That's bizarre. If you were running around the level using the goggles, you might have found that these eggs down here are vulnerable to being broken open with our power punch. So you might think now that the spider webs are removed from that egg because we pushed in a block, which makes no sense, we can now break open the egg. You would be wrong though. Using the power punch on the egg does nothing. Instead, we use the power gloves to push the egg, but it has to be from a precise angle. And you might think the idea is to push the egg somewhere where we can bait the spider monkey into attacking it. And surprisingly, that's not unreasonable. You can bait the spider monkey into actually attacking the egg. But if you don't manage to bait it into attacking the egg, then you have to push it all the way down the slope, where it will trigger a special animation, and it breaking the egg cracks the door. Why does ground pounding the hand push a block out of the altar? Why does pushing the block back in make the spider webs disappear from the egg? Why does the spider monkey breaking its own egg crack the door to leave? You'll never know. No one ever will. And in case you're curious, we cannot leave by punching open the cracked door. And if we try to use our goggles on the door, it will tell us we can't interact with it. So the only thing we know we can interact with right now is this, by ground pounding it. And that will push the block back out for us to push back in, which will, no doubt, allow us to push another spider egg down the slope. The spider monkey will punch the spider egg and crack the door open further. The sequence of events makes no sense. There's not even any bizarre point-and-click King's Quest logic to the progression of these events. But at least now we know what's up and how it works. We'll have the spider attack the egg, and then it'll crack the door some more. This is something we understand. We weren't able to bait the spider properly into attacking, but it will play a special animation where it crushes the egg, and for some reason this causes the spider to remove its hand from the metal railing. Why? That wasn't even the hand it used to smash the egg. Why did it remove that hand from the metal railing? Even when we thought we understood a basic flow of events, we are proven wrong. Instead of the spider crushing the egg breaking the door open more, it instead caused the spider to move its hand for seemingly no reason related to smashing the egg, just like the door cracking. None of these events are connected in any meaningful fashion. It's just a sequence of flags triggering. And worse now, we don't even understand the sequence. But we come up here, there's some spiderlings on the spider's back, and what we're supposed to do is go up to the spider's brain and use our magnet boots on its brain. Using the magnet boots on its brain will make it shake us off. It doesn't even look like we really did anything, does it? That's what I thought at first. I thought we weren't even damaging it. And we might not be. But basic video game logic ensures that I trust we damaged it. Now the spider's hands are blocking the bottoms of the slopes where we push the eggs down, but that's okay because we know from the first time we pushed an egg down the slope that we don't need to push it all the way to the bottom. We can just push it halfway down and then trigger the spider monkey attacking it by baiting it. So that's all we have to do this time. We complete the sequence of events in basically the same order, but this time we have to actually put effort into baiting it. It's no longer optional to bait it, this time we have to do it. So it's a slightly harder sequence than last time. That almost makes sense. That's how video game difficulty progression works. That's almost reasonable. So let's do that. Just like last time, for no reason, pushing the block in makes the spiderwebs disappear off the egg, and we can push it halfway down the slope, but horror of horrors, for some reason we can no longer bait the spider monkey into attacking the egg, no matter how hard we flail around near its arm. That's weird, and we know from previously at the start of the level that actually hitting the spider monkey's hand doesn't do anything. Except, you're wrong, actually, because now hitting the spider monkey's hand does do something, even though it didn't previously. You saw me show that it didn't do anything previously, right? You saw that. And now, we can push the egg all the way down to the bottom of the slope, and it'll crush the egg. It doesn't even look like we're trying to bait it into crushing the egg. It looks like it compulsively crushes... Oh, and the door cracked some more. Isn't that lovely? The boss fight has broken human understanding on a fundamental level. Nothing is trustworthy anymore. What even is happening? Is this even a boss battle? Is this a video game level? Regardless of what horrible thing might happen when we try the sequence this time, that's all we can really do, is complete the sequence again. Maybe after we complete the sequence this time, the spider monkey will spontaneously reveal a scorpion tail. Anything's on the table right now, because human understanding has failed us. Logical progression and causality hold no meaning here. And to make matters worse, we have to punch the hand at just the right angle. Otherwise it won't trigger. Which could lead you to thinking maybe you're not supposed to punch it, even if the goggles tell you otherwise. Isn't that cool? Isn't that lovely? Alright, eggs cracked. Oh yeah, now we can climb back up there and use our magnet boots on the spider monkey's brain again. That's bizarre. Does it feel like we're accomplishing things to you? Does it feel like this is a video game where things are moving forward or happening? Or events are you know, like, what's going on? But it's okay, it's all fine. We know that we climb up here and we use the magnet boots on the spider monkey's brain. We know this. That much is certain. But when we get up there, I'm going to use my goggles just to be sure that that's what's happening. Okay, yes, the goggles say that's correct. Alright, let's do it. Alright, it looks like it shook us off again. That's fair. Oh, look at that, a scorpion tail. That's weird. It's near that hand. That's the only thing we know for sure we can interact with in this fucking level. Let's walk around the scorpion tail and ground pound the hand. Well, the hand's not depressing the way it usually does, but we are ground pounding it, and we did walk around the scorpion tail so the scorpion tail couldn't attack us. So, we probably did it right. Let's grab the block and push the block in. After we clear the enemies away from the block, of course. Alright, let's grab the block. We can't push the block in. Even though we can grab it, we can't push it in. What's going on here? That makes no sense. We know that ground pounding that hand makes the block pop out. That's the only thing we understood. Oh, it turns out we're supposed to power punch the scorpion tail. And the scorpion tail doesn't even try to attack us. We can actually jump on it if we want to. So let's punch it. Oh, now we can ground pound the hand, even though the tail was visibly not holding the hand down. It was apparently holding the hand down. I hate this. Nothing is consistent. This boss fight seems designed in a way as to deliberately fuck with you, and it's too good at it. It's too good at it. It's not like the rest of the game is like this, by the way, if you're curious. It's really not. Alright, let me just find the right angle to push this egg from. It's proving a bit difficult to find the correct angle to push this egg from. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we push the egg down there, and then we punch the hand, and then we push the egg some more. That's how this works. Oh, the scorpion tail's back. I guess it must be on a timer. Alright, now let's punch the hand. It's not working, but I know that it can be finicky. It's really not working, though. That's weird, because we know this is how you move the hand. We know that, right? We know things, right? We know things. You can't just tell me all of my knowledge is wrong forever. Nope, can't interact with the hand anymore, the goggles say. That's fucking nuts. Well, the only other thing we can interact with is the scorpion tail. So that must be the solution, is punching the scorpion tail. Oh, weird. Punching the scorpion tail made the hand move, even though that's not what made the hand move previously. Please hit the egg. Oh, the door's gone and we can leave. What, you thought we had to kill the boss? We had to defeat the boss before we could leave? You think that's what boss fights are? You're wrong. You're wrong. You don't understand anything.